Good morning from Colombia. The title of today's reflection is Come, Follow Me. We're going to look from the book of Mark, chapter 1, verse 16 to 20. It says this: As Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. Come, follow me, Jesus said, and I will make you fishers of men. At once they left their nets and followed him. When he had gone a little further, he saw James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John in a boat preparing their nets. Without delay, he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in the boat with the hired men and followed him. Three things that come to mind when I read this scripture. The first one is this: fishermen were hard working. I thought to myself, why? Why fishermen? Fishermen were hard working. It was not an easy job. Some days they would go out, catch no fish. Some days they would go out and catch a lot. Fishermen really know how to work. If any of you have seen Trawlermen, a series on TV long ago, you will see how hard the job really is. But also they would have understood this term that Jesus used. Come, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. It's a weird description, it's a weird way of looking at it. But for these fishermen here, they would have understood that that's exactly what they were to do. They would have understood what that meant. That they were going to talk to people. They were going to help Jesus. They were going to work with him and have the privilege of working alongside him. The second point is this. From the other gospel messages, we know that these men probably would have seen miracles already. They would have heard some of Jesus' teaching. For them, this would have been a huge privilege. A rabbi, a teacher, one with authority, coming and asking them to follow him. But we mustn't see them as having this huge advantage. It's the same as us, really. We have the Bible, we have the scriptures, we have them backed up by other verses and other books. So we know the miracles that Jesus formed. We know the life that he lived, and we know how it worked out in the end too. So it's the same challenge to us today. Will we come and follow Jesus or not? The third point is this: never lose the fact that this was a big decision. Fishermen at this time would have been family fishermen for years and years and years. The business would have been solely in the family. We read, secondly, that James and John were actually going to leave their father just with the hired men. His own sons, who he'd spent all these years training to be good fishermen, were now leaving him to follow Jesus. This was a huge decision. It wasn't one that they had time to think about. It wasn't one that they went away and weighed it up. It wasn't one that they said, okay, maybe for a couple of weeks we'll come and follow you, see how it works out. No, this was a decision that day they walked away from their boats. That day many of them walked away from their families. They understood that this was a huge thing, a huge opportunity. So my question to us today is, Jesus gives us that opportunity every day to choose whether we want to follow him or not. He chooses you. He doesn't look for qualifications. He doesn't need the intellectual. He doesn't need the physically fit. He doesn't choose and make exceptions between one man and another. All he does is just give that same offer to us today. Come, follow me. It's your choice. You have the scriptures. You have the Bible. You have what you need to make an informed decision. These disciples made a decision on the spur of the moment. So you owe it to yourself. Find out for yourself, who was this Jesus guy? Even if you've been following Jesus for many years, maybe time today to take it more seriously than you ever have before. All it needs to be is a yes for Jesus, and that's enough for him. But remember this, the cost was high for those disciples, and the cost is high for us today. We read that Jesus wants everything. He's not interested in just a little bit. He's not interested in just being a Sunday Christian or once a week. No, he's interested in coming and following him every single day and building that relationship with him. So think about it. Who are you actually following today? Are you following your own wants and desires? Are you following other people in this world? Are you following your career? Or are you actually following Jesus with everything you have? God bless you all.